to New Day. Of course, it's time for our lifestyle segment, brought to you none other than Lipton Tea, the world's #1 tea brand. Now, in today's lifestyle topic, we're going to be delving into relationships, and in particular, would you stay in a sexless or sex-starved relationship or marriage? Now, if, of course, they always say that when it comes to marriage in particular, sex is be fruitful and multiply is something that is so important. However, if you have one partner who has a very high sex drive and the other partner is just not interested, how long can you keep quiet behind closed doors? Apparently, a lot of people are experiencing these issues. Going to be having a discussion. Just want to let parents and everybody know that this is a conversation of adult nature. So, of course, parental discretion is advised. And joining me for this topic, returning again, we have none other than Kojo Ado from Voice of Change, and he joins me now. Good morning.
Morning, Amma. How are you doing?
Very well, very well. How's everything going?
By God's grace, at least. I enjoyed the defeat yesterday. It was a sweet defeat for me.
Yes. So it was sweet. So you wanted Brazil out?
Oh, yes.
Why?
At least, yes. The normal kind of host and win thing, at least. It should break. It broke 2010, at least, South Africa. So Brazil, they thought that when you build a team around one individual, right?
Okay, we're not doing sports. We'll leave that for Benny and Kirsch. He's such a guy. He's going to start. And then the football, and then, no, none of that. None of that. We're talking sex. In particular, lack of sex. All right, so let's kind of look into relationships. I mean, most adult relationships, most people have healthy sex lives, or in particular marriage. Let's first of all just define what is a sex-starved. If you say someone's sex-starved,
I would say that when you are in a recognized kind of institutionalized form of relationship, specifically marriage, and then one partner feels that, listen, I can't give you the rate at which you are asking me for sex. It's not the fact that it is absent, but probably it could be inadequate. They mean one partner is demanding for more, and then the other has reasons to say that, listen, I can't give you what you are requiring. Other people go like, I wouldn't even give, not based on his or her own anything coming up, but probably the health issues might come up and say that because of these and this and that, I can't give you sex for a period of time.
Okay, so maybe there's a point in your relationship, maybe there's something wrong with one of the people. Okay, but that one is understandable. There's a period where maybe you're not having sex for whatever reason.
Exactly. And then probably you will give reasons and say that this is the period that I feel that I don't want to. Maybe you're pregnant in your 6th month, and then your husband, it's really on. He really wants to go and satisfy himself, and you go like, listen, honey, today I don't think that this period, I have some abdominal pains here and there. I don't feel too well. So could you hold on? So at least just give me some few days, then I could recover and I could give you. At that particular moment, the man will feel that, listen, my wife is starving me of sex. And you ask yourself, is it going to continue till the 9th month after her delivery? Can you hold on to that period? Others cannot. Others would be able to, especially when they feel the pains that their wives are going through, and they understand the health implications of that act. That notwithstanding, I'm not saying that when you are pregnant you can't have sex.
Yes, of course.
You can have sex. There are different sex positions for pregnant women. At least even in the 9th month, even the last week in the 9th month, at least sometimes you need to, in quote, you need to grease the baby so that at least the baby could come out very well in one way or the other. We have something to say, you need to water it. At least now you have planted the seed, you need to water it one way or the other. So yes, indeed, you could have sex during that period of time. But when you feel you're in a relationship and you feel that this relationship is going to lead me to marriage, and then go like, oh, I don't want to have sex until we are married, I go like, some people base their decision on how good you are in bed. Or sometimes how hygienic you are. Honestly speaking, I'm saying this because we're talking about sex. and there are some ladies, there are some guys who seriously have issues,
hygiene problems.
Exactly. And when a man really tries it out once and goes like, listen, really, this is too much for me, I can't handle it, so at least you just go away. That it's also one way to determine that indeed I can go far with you.
Okay, well, you just used childbirth, and that's only one example. There are some people who are just not that sexually active. They're just
Sure.
low libido. So if you are a man or woman who happens to have a very high sex drive, and your partner is somebody who is just not there, maybe once every month or so, what is the best way to address it? Because I feel like a lot of times people always think, well, hey, go out and get somebody else, which is not always the answer. So what is the best way to address it?
Well, if you say go out and get someone else, probably he'll go out, but would he be able to return? He gets me. Now,
why just he? It could be she.
It could be she, probably. Yeah, it could be she. It could be a she. Either way. But I would say that in every relationship, it's important for you to have a conversation as to whatever is bothering the two of you. So you know the type of woman or the type of man you are with. If this person is too much into sex, how you can talk the person out of it to come to an average level that the two of you, not compromising, but at least an average level, that it wouldn't become an issue of conflict. Anytime that the issue of sex comes out, one person goes out and goes like, no way, I don't even want to talk about it, because you can't give it to me the way I really want it.
Because we live in a society where sex is almost taboo. People like to pretend we don't do it. People like to, especially when I think that there's a notion of only married couples have sex. That is not true.
That's not true.
That is not true. So,
exactly.
and from a religious standpoint, so you must be married before you have sex. Yeah. That's also not true. So in a society where people are not confident, they're not comfortable to broach sex, how do you bridge the gap, especially if you're not well matched with your partner? How do you bridge the gap? Is it, especially some people always say, oh, I don't even know how to talk about it.
Yeah, you see, as I said, we become a society, we more of cultural, we are so conservative. At least we don't want to talk about certain things like that. But if we change, as society, it's changing. If we are able to bring sex issues to the open and we talk about it, sometimes it's because the way the child was brought up. I can't talk about sex, I can't talk about sex, I can't talk about sex. So even if the person can't even talk about it, how much more translating it into the act? The person sees it as a sin, but something awkward. So I can't even put myself so much into that act because it's hard for me to talk about it. Sometimes it could be psychological. Now, when you sit with the person and talk to the person, in order for the person to be on your same level pegging with you, you give the reasons. Some people have been given some limited sort of information or education on sex. And if you feel that you have a little bit of knowledge on it, and then your partner really needs it, why don't you have the opportunity to sit down and talk to the person more into sex, as to what sex is all about, as to the implications, the negative implications, the positive implications about sex. Here, you're not looking at the negatives, we are looking at the positives, because you're in a relationship and you're looking at building your relationship up and sustaining it together. And you feel that sex plays a critical role in bridging the two of you together. So give reasons. You need to talk. Sometimes some people, as you said, are naturally. Some people, you tickle someone and the person goes like, oh, come on, I will say you guys a better thing. And you go on. Even you kiss the person, that kind of nothing arouses the person, anything like that. Sometimes you need someone to talk to the person, to talk the person out of whatever the person has been brought up with. Need
like
to
counseling,
talk.
essentially.
It's very, very essential in this. Some people go like, my mom in my house, we never even mention the word sex.
Yes, a lot of houses.
We
my
don't
mom,
even
dad,
mention the word
grandpa,
sex.
grand auntie, whoever is
Exactly.
not talked about.
Exactly. So this is the case that you let the person know that you have moved from one stage of life to another stage in life. And here, these are the things that come with this stage in life. You need to move with it. So you tell the person to be able to accept the fact that sex is part and parcel of the human nature as far as you're in a relationship, and more so you want to get married. You can't have a successful marriage if you say that you don't want to have sex. Probably it's subjective to the two of you. You might plan that we don't want to have kids, we don't want to have sex, but what is the essence of every relationship without sex?
Okay. Well, okay, it says here that it's estimated that 1 out of every 3 couples has a sexual desire gap. So meaning that that's actually quite staggering. Out of one of every 3 couples.
Yeah.
Just want to talk about how sex starvation or one partner having a low libido than the other, how that can affect a relationship essentially if you're not on the same page with your sexual partner. There's always issue.
We always at loggerheads, seriously. Immediately the word sex comes up, someone's heart jumps out. I go like, oh, there she goes again, there he goes again. I don't want to do this. Now, when I really want to have, let's say, sex twice in a week or 3 times in a week, and you're not able to give it to me, the first thing that comes on the person's mind is probably to seek the extra somewhere else.
Which we don't encourage.
Which we are not encouraging, which means that there is a deficit in sex. A requirement has not been met. So probably the person might go out somewhere and then seek for it. Probably someone might also go to the extreme and think that, listen, is it that she doesn't or he doesn't really like me or love me or he's not into me? Sex is an act, and it takes 2 people to put that act together. It's a performance. You get me? And when you feel that that person is not forthcoming, you go like, is this person not seeing my role? Is this person feeling that I'm not really doing my best to come out well? So they start thinking, what am I not doing right? Is it there's something about me that, and the person wouldn't want to also talk about it, or the excuse the person wants to go like, I don't feel for it, I don't feel for it, I don't feel for it. Probably there might be something,
but there's no communication.
There's no communication, and the person feels that, listen, if I'm forthcoming with this kind of information, I am really going to hurt your emotions. I don't want to tell you that probably if you're a male, I don't want to tell you that probably your pee is too small for me. You get me? Your pee is too small for me, and at least I really don't enjoy it. You get me? Probably I just want you
to. But if you don't enjoy sex, I think every person has a right to voice that I don't enjoy sex. And how do we improve and have better sex?
Exactly. But here's the case that people really don't want to talk about it.
They don't want to talk about it together. But we were yesterday during our brief on this topic, hearing that women are going into hair salons and talking in hair salons. They're talking with their friends. Men are sitting at maybe wherever, congregating with their friends, talking about the lack of sex. So maybe they're not talking together, but you pick up the phone to your friend. Is that the right way to go? So if you're not going to tell the one person who you're in a relationship with, you're in a marriage with, but we're hearing things like this in the hair salon.
A lady called me and was like, Kojo, I'm in this relationship with a guy. The guy gives me everything that I want. I mean, everything. But there's a problem with sex. He doesn't satisfy me the way I really want. So you know what? One day this lady says that she goes out, meets this guy. I mean, they get talking and everything. A different guy.
Okay.
Get talking and everything like that. And before they realize, come on, they done with the act. And she still sits back and enjoy the moment that they were together, reminiscing. And she says that she feels so good with that guy, and then she has a problem telling the real guy who is ready to marry her in less than 2 months.
Wow.
Less than 2 months. And she's like, she's in a dilemma. She doesn't really know what to do now. She was like, Kojo, what should I do? I'm like, listen, talk to this guy. Tell him that this is the way I want it. Probably he has been using one-way style. That you really kind of, it's through a cake and everything like that. Teach him. Because this is the guy that wants to marry you. And
marriage is supposed to be for life.
Exactly. You don't have timeline that, listen, 10 years later, we're going to break up a contract and then we're going to somewhere else again. Let him know things that make you happy, and more essentially when it has to do with sex. Now, what you need to do is, how does that guy make you feel, the new guy? What does he do? If it's not about his personality and it's about things that he does, now you can tell your guy, in order for him to learn these things. We all learn new things each and every day. So he can learn these things and he will become a master. And at the end, you can be able to forget about this guy. Now, this girl always thinks about this guy. Anytime that she even has sex with the original guy,
with a partner,
she goes like, I mean, a backup stuff like that, you know. And she goes to this unofficial guy and goes to satisfy herself very well. But then, when he goes into marriage, where would that?
That's not a good basis.
It's not a good basis at all. So talk to the person. Let him know that, listen, if we're having sex, I want you to look deep into my eyes. If we're having sex, I want you to kiss me. If we're having sex, I just want you to play with my nipples. If we're having sex, I just want you to kiss my
this
nipple.
Is the morning show.
Exactly. So you see, these are things that probably people go like.
But I can imagine right now people flinching like, oh my God, he says nipple. But guess what? It's part of sex.
That is
but
it.
We don't have that language. If we look at our culture, especially in marriage, I mean, you often hear of us within marriage where people are suffering in silence.
Exactly.
They're suffering in silence, and a lot of times people feel, well, hey, the best way I can deal with this is to do something. I shouldn't be like going out and being secretive. Some people, the fallbacks can go as far as maybe someone says, okay, well, I'll go and find a prostitute. I'm not saying. People do all the wrong things.
Exactly.
So, I just want to look at some of the social consequences of also, you know, sex starvation within a relationship. Just look at some of that.
Well, if sometimes if you starve your partner of sex, what they do is that they find solace in other people, and they talk about issues. They talk. When they start talking to their friends, it means that the very fiber of your relationship is breaking gradually. Now, issues concerning the two of you privately, it's not being made public.
Yes.
And now you become more or less, people will start mocking.
You may not even know about it.
You may not even know.
Your woman's friends or your guy's friends know all about your lack of.
Exactly. So you go out and then Kojo is walking out there, big man level, flexing all about, and then ladies will be pointing fingers at him. Look at him. He thinks that he's all out. It's not about.
Or he's a 5 minutes man.
You get me? Now your issues are out there. Society will start mocking you. And when you find out that, hey, so it's because of this that people
my director is saying in my ear that 5 minutes is not enough.
5 minutes is not enough.
He wants to know, is 5 minutes enough?
It depends on your strength, actually. I mean, it depends on your strength, how your strength is, and how the two of you are able to collaborate together.
I like that collaborate.
That collaboration, at least, there's always that sort of collaboration. But it depends on you, your strength. Don't go
and
beyond.
Both partners.
Exactly.
If both partners want 5 minutes, then it's enough.
It's enough.
If one partner wants 5 hours, and you
seriously?
yeah. So if one person wants like a 5 hours, the other person can only manage 5 minutes.
Exactly. Then it means that's where foreplay really comes in here. Seriously speaking, you know that your partner is going to take a very long time for the person to get there. You get me? You start playing with the person. You start toying with the person. It's a morning show actually, but you start toying with the person actually, and you get the person there. The person needs to be there before you will get there. You, that 5 minutes person, because it's going to just take about just a few minutes for you to get there. This person, the longevity. So you need to work more on the one who deserves more time, for the person to be there and sees that, yes, I am satisfied in court.
There's also the notion that romance just don't start, or the sex act doesn't just start when the two of you are in the bedroom. It can start even in the morning by you sending messages, sending a call, just telling the person you love them, you bring them up, you raise them up to be, so they feel good about themselves.
Exactly.
Okay, there's something I kind of just want to switch the tone a little bit. When it comes, I guess, sex starved relationships, and I actually had a lot of people, especially young girls, tend to email me about this. that, oh, I'm in a relationship with somebody and then they say they want sex. I've done it once or twice. I don't want to do it, or I don't want to do it at all. But yet he's giving me pressure that if I'm not having sex on a constant basis, he's going to leave me. It's something you tend to hear a lot. Now, in a situation like that, he's not married to you. Especially, I think young girls can tend to go through this a lot. If your boyfriend or your mate is telling you, your man, okay, I want this and I want it, and if you don't give it to me, I'm going to leave you. It's a dilemma for a lot of people, especially when they're in love, and even if it's the other way around. What then do you do? Because there are some very
you see. I always say that in the beginning of your relationship, you don't say you are in love. You are getting along. Now this is anytime I get the opportunity to talk to the youth out there, mostly I tell them, listen, that whether it's become a cliche now, I'm in love. You're not in love. There's nothing like, you're getting to know each other here. Now when the demands start coming in, and you feel that I'm in love, I owe him an obligation to his demands. I need to give in for his demands. When you put yourself in that shoe, say that we are in love and we are together.
Just because you're in love, does that mean you have to have sex?
You need to. They feel that this is it. You need to give it to me. But when you feel that, listen, I've met Amma, we are getting to know ourselves. We are getting along. You are not held in any kind of bondage necessarily to give in to Kojo because he's asking for it. Now look at yourself. Ask yourself, what are my values? What do I stand for? Where do I want to be? Is it that I want to be with I want to sleep with every man or every lady that I meet before I even get married? How is society going to see me in like that? Now, if he keeps on demanding, or she keeps on demanding for sex, then you should know something should click you that this person is in, not for us to have a long-term relationship, but just to have me and then just enjoy me.
All right, we're going to be opening the phone lines. Just take a couple of calls on this, so the phone lines will be appearing on your screen. We want to hear your views. And in the meantime, I'll read some comments from Twitter. Salom says, my girlfriend starves me sexually because she has made a vow to God to abstain till she gets married, and I really support her. Good on you, Salom. Nee Enoch says, what's the sense of a relationship if you can enjoy the goodness in it? Aya Roxon says, I'll never be in a relationship where I'm sex starved, because relationship without sex is like soup without fish or meat. Okay. While the lines are going to be put on, I'll do some more. Kweku Boache says, married. Okay, well, in marriage, one can perhaps have all the sex available to you once your partner agrees. So with that, within marriage. Nana Fusu says, never, because I'm actually a sex freak. All right, so there you go. Just to let you know, we'll be opening the phone lines. I will try and do some more comments very soon. Just want to remind you, this is a topic of adult nature, so parental discretion is advised. Now, okay, looking at this, reading, because I'm reading from Twitter, I doubt most of these people are married. So we're talking about society where there is a fallback of especially males socialize the world over mostly to have sex, so your wild oats before you're married, have maybe one or two partners before marriage, whereas women or females are socialized, you're supposed to abstain. So is there something wrong if we're socializing males and female different? Because women are you're supposed to be a good girl, so you don't do sex. So maybe if you've never had any sort of healthy sexual discourse doesn't mean you're having it, or discussion, once maybe you get into marriage, you have no clue, as opposed to a man who's maybe gone out there and had so many. Are we socializing our males and females in the wrong way?
We are not really that kind of social kind of bringing sex to the forefront of society. It's not there. Where do we start? I think that we need to start from. Okay,
I'm going to just hold you there for a second. We have our first caller, Sylvia, from Tamales on the line. Good morning, Sylvia. How are you?
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine.
Wonderful. Okay, what would you like to share in terms of your personal view, whether to stay in a sex-starved relationship or marriage?
Well, I wanted to ask a question.
Yes, please.
I'm in a relationship with a guy, and I actually didn't support sex because I wanted it to be marriage before sex. But it happened that I fell for his he was continuously asking for it, and then I finally agreed because I thought I was in love with him. Now I don't know, I'm with him, but I wonder if I just leave the relationship now, would I don't know, is it good if I leave the relationship now, because it's like I don't feel comfortable with him.
Why do you want to leave? So you don't feel comfortable anymore?
Yes, please.
You don't feel comfortable with him anymore?
Yeah, but I don't know whether if I leave the relationship it would be best.
Okay, Kojo, I'll let you and I'll share my opinion. All right, Kojo, what's your opinion on this?
I would say that your happiness in any relationship, it's very essential. So if you feel you have come to that crossroad and you're having that thought that, listen, I'm not really into this person as before, probably it's because of how the act went on. That the joy, there's no joy anymore. They started building on sex. So now we've had it.
Well, you're pressurized. I'm sorry, if anybody pressurizes you to do anything you don't want to do, how can you be comfortable? When you feel comfortable, then fine.
Now she's giving in. So she's asking herself now, what's next? What next for us? What is next for us? So I would say, my lady, I would say that if you feel that you are not so happy in a relationship, the only thing is for you to bow out. You are not married to this person.
That's true.
You are not really married. You don't stay in and go like, it's going to be well, I'm looking up to God, blah, 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 like that. No way. Maybe probably the joy will come again. The sort of emotion and affection that I felt for him from the beginning will build up again. It would never. It's gone.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is just my humble opinion. I honestly think that, talk to him, discuss how you feel, and if you're really unhappy, I think, you should definitely bow out. Exactly. All right, we'll go to the phone lines. I have Joe from Kumasi on the line, I believe. Good morning. Good morning. I believe we've lost that line. Yeah, I mean, but this is the thing though. So then in a marriage where one person is believing their sex stuff, is the answer then also pressure? Because the same thing I said, the same people were saying he pressurized me or she pressurized me, because some guys too don't want to have sex. No one should pressurize you.
You see, Amma, in marriage, I would say that, listen, as far as you're married, the Bible says it that you need to, whoever calls for it. I'm not saying the man demanding the lady should succumb to it, but whoever calls for it, you should be able to. If you think you can't, give tangible reasons why you can't satisfy the person then and now. Give reasons. But don't just leave it in vague, like, I don't feel for it. The man will keep asking, why? And the more he keeps asking you, the more you also become a little bit irritated. And the more you become irritated, it becomes argumentative. Could turn into fight. Seriously. If you don't feel for sex, he has asked or she has asked you for it today, and you can't do it, just give reasons.
We'll go back to the phone lines and I'll read some more comments. We have Aka from Ashalo Bubuche on the line. Good morning, how are you?
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
What would you like to share on this topic?
Okay,
can you please lower your TV so we don't get feedback, please, so we can hear you clearly?
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm in a relationship with this girl, and she talks about the fact that she doesn't want us to have sex because of her biblical something. Now, there's a situation where she comes to my place, and things she does is kind of like calling her. You can see that the girl really wants the thing, but she doesn't know how to call for it. You understand? Her attitude and her gestures and everything around me, even on the bed and everything, is not like she wants it, but she doesn't know how to say it. So at times I begin to think like she's using a Bible thing as a cover-up just to make her look like an angel when she's not. The kind of situation, as an individual, as a partner, what do I have to do?
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, you said that you believe she wants it.
Yeah.
Is he still on the line? Okay, well, I'm sure he's watching. So he believes she wants it by her actions.
Yeah.
So, so in a situation where then, your partner is doing maybe all the things short of entry.
Sure.
Or so you feel like, is it just teasing then?
You see, I would say that if you feel that you don't want to do it, don't even engage in activities that
will
lead into, don't lead someone on.
Okay.
But here's the case that the lady, it's more biblical, Christian, as the guy said, and then she has probably kind of covered her face because she's a Christian. Fine. She comes to you. Now he says that sometimes they are on the bed, and her actions and inactions tell it all. My guy, ask her.
That's what
Ajua, Afi, why are you ready, Anna? Are you ready? Do you think that you want us to do it? Because this, you need to seek for her consent. Seriously. But if she's not ready, but probably what she's doing, she feels that she's just being herself.
Maybe she's
just being
ready.
herself. She's just being herself, and
okay.
that is all.
We have Ofori from Swedro on the line. Good morning, Ofori. Morning, Ofori.
I'm with a lady actually for 2 years now. I've been doing everything for her, but she doesn't want to have to taxi. And as a matter of fact, because of this, what he's doing, if I call her class, she don't want to take my class.
Okay, I guess I heard. Did you hear? I think he's been with you've been with the lady for 2 years?
Yeah.
And you said she doesn't want to have sex?
She doesn't like, and I always ask her, she says no, she wants her to tie the knot before. So this was the thing, I reported her to like one of her uncles. And he said I have reported her to one of her uncles. So and I called and said this, she doesn't take my call.
Well, okay. So
I really love her too.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what to do now. So I thought.
Now, I think
right,
the lady didn't want anyone else to know about her sexual stuff. Here, probably she feels that a little bit embarrassed because you told uncle about an issue that is supposed to be between the two of you. You get me? So just find her, not by phone. Go apologize to her first. Go apologize to her. Now, if indeed you understand the fact that she doesn't want to go into any sexual act with you before you tie the knot, and you understand it, let it be like that. But if you don't really understand it and you feel that you want to taste it before you can buy it home, that is your prerogative. But
it doesn't mean she has to give it to you.
No, it doesn't mean she has to give it to you by force because you think that there is a price tag on it. Let me have it, then I'll marry you. Anybody who gives you that condition, please think about it very, very well. So just find the girl, apologize to the girl for taking issues that are just between the two of you to an uncle. Maybe probably had it been a girl, the girl's friend would have been a little bit okay, but here a family member, kind of friends, exactly.
He actually sounds like he's in a lot of pain. Clearly, he loves this girl.
So if you really love her, go for her. Just find wherever she is. Just put the phone aside. Find wherever she is. Apologize to her. Let her know that probably you made a mistake, and then it's not going to happen again. Apologies are always welcome in such situations.
Okay, so I'm going to do some more comments.
Yeah.
Salam is saying, if you really love your partner, you will support her in everything. Sex-free relationship is the best. Anyway, so too much love. We also have, and he says, oh, he goes, my girlfriend has starved me sexually. Oh, I've already read that one. All right, Francis from Ekwapong is on the line. Oh, Japon. Francis from Japon is on the line. Apologies. Good morning, Francis.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm doing fine.
Please, what would you like to share?
You said?
What would you like to share?
Yeah, it's like I'm dating a lady for 2 years now. And it's like I don't feel for lady. I don't feel for sex for the lady. I don't want to have sex with the lady. But anytime that she comes here, it's like she forces me to have sex with her. And I also don't like sex. I just don't like it. So I'm confused. I don't really know what to do.
Okay.
So I want you to educate me on that.
Thank you for sharing.
Has he talked to the girl about it?
Have you spoken to her about it? Okay, he went off the line. So now this is one word, because you always think it's the men demanding from the women.
Exactly.
Is that now there are some guys who just don't want to have sex. So
exactly.
And he doesn't like sex. So
exactly.
What do you say about that?
You talk to the person. Let the person know who you are.
Says he doesn't like sex.
Your personality. You see, sometimes we don't look at the personality of the individual that we really dating. You get the person is okay, my type, my color. He talks so well, she talks so well, she's beautiful, she dresses so nice that it's okay. But there's way beyond that. Look at the personality of that individual. You sit him or her down, get their views and opinions about issues, social issues, more especially things that concern the two of you. So you realize that in talking about issues, you realize that he doesn't really like it, she likes it. Then how well can you talk the person in? Listen, this is the way I just want us to be. I want us to go this way first. It depends on the two of you.
He's doing it under pressure. And I think if you're having under pressure too, it doesn't matter who it is. You shouldn't have to feel pressure to do something so intimate.
And you see what they're going to tax someone like this. Society go like, oh yeah, Bema, niho.
No,
I mean the person
that's
is
the
important.
problem. We need to stop doing. We need to stop doing that.
That's tagging, that's stereotyping and everything like that.
Okay, I'm going to take one last caller on that. Al Hassan from Tamale is on the line. Good morning, Al Hassan.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Wonderful. What would you like to share?
I love the program.
Thank you.
I have this issue with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
They are married. And then the lady, I don't know whether because of her past, it's like, hello.
Yeah, we're listening. Please, go ahead.
It's like because of her past relationship, she is not in a way enjoying the man in terms of sex.
Wow.
So it's like it's driving the woman away from the man. Anytime I saw the man like wants to have sex with her, she doesn't like. It's like she's not ready, and it is worrying the man. We don't know what advice we have.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you very much. I mean, these things are obviously very, very common. So again, they're married. For whatever reason, she's not enjoying, being. Okay. So one of the things I would always say, I say, seek professional help. And I know with Ghana, we always talk about to friends, but friends may not necessarily give you the answer.
Exactly. You see, that's where when you go to developed countries, they have counselors.
Oh, we have them in Ghana too. We have counselors.
Exactly.
Whether people patronize it as much is
that
is
it.
an issue.
I think this is where that we need to really make it more like when you have issues, any issue at all, you can talk to someone. I mean, it could be psychological. Probably the lady was raped in the past. It could be that whenever she's going to the act, she thinks about the pain and then the agony that she went through. It could be. So going into it, girl, like, I can't even give in my all. So sometimes it's psychological. So that you just need to find a professional, talk to a psychologist. I mean, find out the person who's just going to talk you out of it. It's just like a trauma and everything like that. And most people, the starving comes as a result of this. I mean, the person past
it may not even have anything to do with you, the current partner.
No,
could be in the past.
In the past, exactly. The person has been raped before. You get me? The person has been raped, and the person goes like, no, listen, I just can't think myself going into this act again for a man to be on top of me and everything like that. The pain will start coming back. The memories will start coming back again. And I don't want to relive those memories and those pains anymore. So sometimes it doesn't have to do with you. That's why you need to talk to find out the reasons.
And support her.
Support. It needs the support. So if you feel that it is an act that happened for the fault of the lady, you need to support. Even if it's the fault of the lady, you need to support. I'm here with you. This is what I want us to build this together. Encourage the person. And you see that together, the person is just going to forget about issues. People have gone into relationships that they got really hurt. But I believe you me, they have gone into other relationships hoping for the best. How did they hope? Because the other partner was able to give that support to them. And they said,
maybe.
Yes. They've eliminated every kind of past event and anything, and it's now behind them and they are moving on. So whatever happens to whoever in the relationship, when you talk out and you find out these things, you can do away with all those things.
All right, I'm gonna read one more comment. Samuel Sams, this is on Facebook, says all has to do with understanding the level of the parties involved. Both may consider the extent at which they want the relationship to go, whether it should be to maintain at a relationship or will be sent into marriage level. Then that you should reconcile the two sex-starved or sexless relationships. I guess he's trying to say that, depending where. All right, so I want to say a big thank you to Kojo Addo from Voice of Change.